Athletes, parents, coaches, and fans, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
What does it mean to be a good neighbor and a place families bank for generations? For Piscataqua Savings Bank, it's building relationships, offering advice, and being involved in the community. Piscataqua Savings Bank became a certified B Corp in 2019. We put people and planet before profit. It's really a culture and a mindset. It goes into every decision that we make. What's the impact on the employee? What's the impact on the customer? What's the impact on the community? Piscataqua Savings Bank since 1877.
At Mass General Brigham, we hear you. Sports medicine care driven by research and determination. Top specialists who understand your athletic dreams, goals, and the need to get back to them. Together, we'll write your comeback story.
All the stars have aligned, it's our time to shine. Yeah, this is our moment. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Are you ready? Get ready.
Are you ready for it?
Are you ready for your life to change? Are you ready for what it takes? Make the break creates the chosen. The moment is now, the time is golden. Dedication mixed with focus. No circus or hocus pocus. No joke when it comes to greatness. It's your moment, you just gotta take it out. Go time. Can't stop. Are you ready? This is the time.
Welcome to the Seacoast High School Sports Awards.
Please welcome to the stage Howard Altscheller, Executive Editor for Seacoast Media Group.
Seacoast Sports Awards 2022. I'm Howard Altscheller, and we're absolutely thrilled to have so many people in the room tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of over 260 of our most outstanding local student athletes. And it's really nice to be here in person. We haven't been here since 2019, so it's great to have everybody here in the music hall together. Athletes, your accomplishments didn't happen by accident. You put in countless hours of hard work, made many sacrifices to achieve your high level of success, and for that, we all congratulate you on a job well done. And parents and loved ones, can we ask every parent and loved one of an athlete being honored tonight to stand? Don't be shy. Thank you. Well-deserved applause. Think for a minute about the very first sport your child participated in. Remember driving them to that first practice, and since then, the countless other times you chauffeured, cheered, consoled, and encouraged your child. All of those sacrifices you made on behalf of these athletes has paid off. So congratulations to you as well. This is also your night. And not to be overlooked, will every coach and athletic director in the audience please stand? These athletes have been successful in their sport and in life thanks to your leadership and mentorship. Congratulations on a job well done. Seacoast Media Group websites and newspapers are the area's premier source for high school sports coverage. And this event is really a celebration of what our reporters out in the community do each and every day. The stories that come from the fields, courts help shape our community, and high school sports is something we all recognize, know, and love. Before we proceed tonight, I want to take a moment to thank all our event sponsors. This event would not be possible without them, as their support allowed us to provide all student athletes free tickets to tonight's show. We're so happy and grateful to have them, as their support and investment truly allows this event to be one of the most special nights for so many families in our community. Please help me show our appreciation to them. A big thank you to our partners, Piscataqua Savings Bank, Mass General Brigham Sports Medicine at Wentworth Douglas Hospital, and to make our supporting sponsor, who also helped make tonight possible, New England Furniture. All of us at Seacoast Media Group are proud to partner with these fine community institutions, and the next time you have the opportunity to thank members of these businesses, please do. Please join me one more time in thanking all of the businesses who helped this event possible. Tonight's event is truly a tribute to the joy and the trials of all that makes up high school athletics. Tonight we'll recognize over 260 student athletes from the area, from 12 schools and 27 sports. You've run, hit, jumped, thrown, tossed, spiked, served, pinned, pitched your way into the record books, into the pages of your hometown newspaper and websites, and most importantly, into our hearts. At this time, we'd like to ask all of the student athletes to stand and be recognized. Congratulations to you all. All right, just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. Photos and a recording from tonight's event will be published at seacoastonline.com and fosters.com. Please tag all your photos, posts, and stories on social media using the hashtag SeacoastHSSA, High School Sports Awards, and tag us at High School Sports Awards. One lucky person who posts this evening using those tags will win an autographed item from our special guest, Charlie Coyle. We'll announce the winner at the end of the night, so happy posting. If you are announced as an award winner, please make your way to the stage to accept your award. Please enter the stage from my right, your left, and you'll come up on the stage. You'll pause for a photo. It'll all be very self-explanatory. We'll start with our Player of the Year awards, hear from our guest speaker, Charlie Coyle of the Boston Bruins, and conclude with the top awards of the night, including Boys and Girls Athlete of the Year, Coach of the Year, and some very special awards. I would now like to introduce our MC for the evening. You know him, you love him, sports editor for Seacoast Media Group, Jay Pinsino.
Welcome back. It's been a long 3 years since we've been here for sure. I'd like to reiterate our appreciation to our community supporters, our families, coaches, and athletes. It is my honor to be here tonight and recognize the most outstanding athletes in each sport. Also with me tonight, we're going to have Brandon Brown, Seacoast sports writer. He's going to be handing out the plaques. And if you guys are ready, let's start handing out some awards. We'll start tonight with the awards in baseball, presented by New England Furniture. Will all the award nominees in baseball please stand? And the baseball player of the year is Joe Allen from Winnicott High School. Joe Allen, a senior, helped the Warriors make it to the Division I championship game in 2021, and he was integral this year as Winneconne advanced to the Division I quarterfinals. He won his fourth game of the season on the mound in the first round of the Division I playoffs with a complete game against Goffstown. He had 8 strikeouts and allowed 1 hit in the 11-1 victory. He had a 4-2 record this season with a 1.63 ERA and a 0.90 WHIP, and he had 79 strikeouts in 49 innings. Joe was recently named New Hampshire's Gatorade Player of the Year, as well as earning a selection to the Division I All-State First Team. He has been recruited to play at the University of Michigan on scholarship, and he carries a 3.78 GPA. Congratulations. Next up, we have the Girls and Boys Players of the Year in basketball. Will all the award nominees in basketball please stand, both boys and girls? And the Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Emily Rainforth, York High School. And the Boys Basketball Player of the Year is Aiden Sullivan of Marshwood High School. Emily Rainforth led the York girls to the Class B South Championship game as the number 5 seed. The senior forward stepped up during the playoffs with 85 points in 4 tournament games. She scored 19 and 27 points, respectively, in upset wins over number 4 Yarmouth and number 1 Wells in the regional quarterfinals and semifinals, and then scored 29 points in a loss to unbeaten Oceanside in the Class B championship game. She ended the season leading York with 16.3 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 3.6 steals per game. Rainforth was a 2-time team captain, was named to the All-Western Maine Conference first team, and was selected as a McDonald Senior All-Star. Congratulations, Emily. Aiden Sullivan led the Marshwood boys to the Class A South Championship game for the first time since 1997 and had a final record of 14-6. He led the team in scoring with an average of 17.6 points a game while pulling down a team-high 7.1 rebounds. He also had 4.1 assists per game. He was a Class A South and all SMAA Class A first team selection and was one of 10 SMAA Class A and B seniors chosen as a McDonald Senior All-Star. Congratulations, Aiden. Now it's time to present the top girls and boys cross-country athletes. Will all the award nominees in cross-country please stand up, both boys and girls? And the girls cross-country runner of the year is Carrie Drake of York High School. And the boys cross-country runner of the year is Tyler Sheedy of Dover High School. Carrie Drake, a sophomore, showed why she's one of the top young runners not only in Maine, but in all of New England. The Wildcat sophomore was second at both the Class B South and Class B state races in 19 minutes and 27 seconds and 19 minutes 20 seconds respectively. At the New England Championships, she was one of 4 Maine girls to place in the top 6, placing 5th overall. Drake was also named to the All-Western Maine Conference first team. Congratulations, Carrie. Tyler Sheedy, a senior, had another strong fall for the Green Wave, highlighting 2021 with a blistering 15:38 at the Meet of Champions in Nashua. He good for 7th place. It was his 3rd straight top 10 finish at the Meet of Champions. He was also 22nd at the Division I meet in Manchester and 73rd at the New England Championships in Vermont. A 4-year member of the Dover cross-country team, Sheedy has committed to continue his education and run at the University of Rhode Island. Congratulations, Tyler. Now it's time for the awards in field hockey. Will all the award nominees in field hockey please stand? The Field Hockey Player of the Year is Addison McNeil of Exeter High School. McNeil, a junior, led the Blue Hawks to their 2nd Division I state championship and a record of 18-1. The junior forward scored both goals in the 2-1 championship win as Exeter came from behind to beat Windham, avenging their only loss of the season. McNeil was a force on Exeter's front line with 15 goals and 16 assists. She was named to the Division I All-State First Team, shared the Division I Offensive Player of the Year award, and was selected as Exeter's most valuable player. Congratulations, Addison. Now it's time for the Players of the Year in football. Will all the award nominees in football please stand? The Defensive Football Player of the Year is Andrew Goodwin of Marshwood High School. And the Offensive Football Player of the Year is Tucker McCann of Winnicott High School. Goodwin, a senior, led the Hawks to their 4th straight Maine Class B state championship and their 6th title in 70 years with the 14-13 victory over Windham. A versatile two-way player, he was Marshwood's top defensive player at linebacker, with the team leading 102 tackles and one of its leading runners on offense with 1,124 yards and 21 touchdowns. Goodwin was honored with selections to the Portland Press Herald's All-State team on defense, as well as being an All-Southwestern Maine Activities Association first-team pick. Goodwin was also the team's punter, averaging nearly 40 yards a kick, and was a valuable member on special teams. Congratulations, Andrew. Tucker McCann, a senior, led the Warriors to the Division I state championship game, where they lost to Londonderry 24-14 to finish with an 11-1 record. McCann rushed for 1,322 yards and scored 14 touchdowns. He had 8 100-yard rushing games, including 151 yards and 2 touchdowns in Winnicott's 21-14 semifinal win over rival Exeter. McCann was named Max Prep's Player of the Year while earning Division I East First Team All-Conference honors. One of two triplets to play for Winnacunnet, his brother Jack was a standout two-way performer at linebacker and center. Congratulations, Tucker. And now for the awards in golf. Will all the award nominees in golf please stand? The girls' golfer of the year is Karis Fennessy of Dover High School. And the boys' golfer of the year is Will Ducharme of Exeter High School. Fennessy won the New Hampshire Individual Girls Golf Championship at Campbell Scottish Highlands Golf Course in Salem by 5 strokes with a 3 under par 68. It's the lowest score ever to win a state title. Just a freshman, she was also the top golfer on the Dover High School boys team, firing a medalist round of 1 under par 70 at the Division I Team Championships. At the New England Championships at Mohegan Sun Golf Club, Fennessy tied for 6th with a 6 over par 78. Carissa's unable to be here tonight, but accepting her on her behalf is Dover High School Athletic Director Peter Watton. Will Ducharme, a senior, was the #1 player on Exeter's team with a 35.7 average, leading the Blue Hawks to a runner-up finish in the Division I tournament at Overlook Country Club. He was also the individual runner-up behind teammate Joshua Johnston. Ducharme was the top New Hampshire golfer at the New England Championships held at Mohegan Sun Golf Club in Connecticut. Tying for 4th with a 74, as a junior in 2020, Ducharme was instrumental in Exeter winning its first Division I state title in 31 years. Will cannot be here tonight, but accepting on his behalf is Exeter assistant golf coach Kevin McQueen. Now it's time for the winners in hockey. Will all the nominees in girls and boys hockey please stand? The girls hockey player of the year is Diana Pivarato of St. Thomas Aquinas. And the boys hockey player of the year is Luke Suheski of Portsmouth, Newmarket. Pivarato, a junior, led the St. Thomas Winnacunnet Dover cooperative team to the state final where they lost to Hanover, finishing with a 14-7 record. She was named All-State First Team and was named Division I Player of the Year. She had a .277 goals against average and a save percentage of .909 and 2 shutouts. Without her, the team does not make it to the championship game. The other 7 teams who made the quarterfinals outshot the Saints by at least a 2.5-1 margin. Coach Al Oliveira figured that without Pivarato, the team does not win at least 3 regular season games and definitely both playoff games against Concord and Pinkerton. Congratulations, Diana. Suheski capped a historic season for Portsmouth Newmarket by leading the Clipper Mules to the program's first ever state championship game, a 7-1 loss to St. Thomas Aquinas. The senior captain and forward was named to the Division II All-State First Team and was tabbed as the division's Player of the Year. Suheski led his team in points with 47 points on 28 goals and 19 assists, and he ended his career with 87 points. He had 4 hat tricks and was instrumental in the Clipper Mules finishing the season with an overall record of 14-6-1. He had many game-winning goals, including the clincher in a 3-2 quarterfinal playoff win over Goffstown. Congratulations, Luke. Let's now go from the ice to the track. Will all the nominees in girls and boys track please stand? The girls' indoor track player of the year is Carrie Drake, York High School. And the boys' player of the year is Matt Charpentier of York High School. Drake capped an outstanding winter sophomore season at York at the New England Championships by placing second in the mile run in a photo finish by 3/1000ths of a second. Her time was 5 minutes, 1.515 seconds, improving her school record by 13 seconds. At the Class B state meet, Drake was again in top form, winning both the mile and the 2 mile to lead York to the Class B team runner-up honors. She also ran a leg of the victorious 4x800 relay. Drake helped the Wildcats win the Western Maine Conference Championship by winning the mile and 2 mile going away. She is coming off a brilliant fall season that saw her tabbed as the Seacoast Sports Award winner for girls cross country. Congratulations, Carrie. Charpentier played a huge role in leading York to its 3rd straight Class B state indoor track and field championship. The junior broke a 43-year-old record in the shot put with his last throw of the day, a monster toss of 56 feet, 6 1/4 inches. That beat his previous best throw of the day by more than 2 feet and eclipsed the long-standing state record by 7 1/4 of an inch. Charpentier followed that up with a solid 6th place showing at the New England Championships in Rhode Island. At the Western Maine Conference meet, he led York to the team title by winning the shot put by over 9 feet with a toss of 53 feet. Congratulations, Matt. And now I would like to turn it over to Brandon Brown, sports reporter for Seacoast Media Group, to help continue handing out the awards.
All right, let's meet the players of the year in lacrosse. Will all the award nominees in lacrosse please stand up? The girls lacrosse player of the year is Mia Smith of Portsmouth High School. And the boys lacrosse player of the year is Aiden Drunzik of Exeter High School. Smith played a major role in Portsmouth's #1 seed in Division II at a record of 16-2. Both losses were to heavyweights Bedford and Pinkerton, 2 of the 3 top teams in Division I. Smith, a senior midfielder, led the Clipper offense with 48 goals and 30 assists, earning D2 first-team All-State honors and selection to the New Hampshire senior team that will play Vermont senior team later this year. An All-American in 2021, she has been nominated for that same honor this year. Smith will attend and play lacrosse at Endicott College in Beverly, Massachusetts. Congratulations, Mia. Drunzik, a senior, has been at the forefront of Exeter's attack with 70 goals and 30 assists in 2022, leading the Blue Hawks to the top seed in the Division I tournament with a record of 17-1. He has scored 4 or more goals in a game 11 times this season and 5 or more goals 7 times. One of his best efforts came in a 13-12 win over out-of-state powerhouse Acton Boxborough, Massachusetts, 5 goals and 2 assists. A senior captain, Drunzik was selected as an Under Armour All-American. He was also named Division I First-Team All-State and D1 Offensive Player of the Year. He will continue his education and has been recruited to play lacrosse at NCAA Division I UMass Amherst. Congratulations, Aiden. Aiden is currently in South Carolina at a lacrosse camp. Accepting on his behalf is Coach Paul DiMarino. Now for the Players of the Year in soccer. Will all the award nominees in soccer please stand? The Girls Soccer Player of the Year is Maggie Hall of Exeter High School. And the Boys Soccer Player of the Year is Trevor Wozni of Marshall High School. Hall, a senior, led the Blue Hawks back to the Division I state tournament where they advanced to the quarterfinals and finished with a record of 11-5-2. The only returning starter from the Blue Hawks 2021 undefeated state championship squad, Hall was also a member of the 2019 championship team. She earned D1 First Team All-State and All New England honors. A 3-year starter, Hall will continue her education and play soccer at NCAA Division I Drexel on scholarship. Congratulations, Maggie. Wozni, a senior, led the Hawks to their first state championship in Maine Class A, finishing the season with a record of 16-2-1. A senior midfielder, Wozni had 15 goals and 15 assists while earning several postseason honors. Portland Press Herald All-State First Team, All Southwestern Maine Activities Association First Team, All Region Class A South First Team, and All New England. In the state tournament, he was vital in Marshwood winning 5 straight games, including a come-from-behind 2-1 victory over Brunswick in the state championship contest. The Hawks went 10-0-1 in their final 11 games. Congratulations, Trevor. Now it's time to present the award for the Player of the Year in softball, presented by New England Furniture. Will all the award nominees in softball please stand? And the softball Player of the Year is Andy Cristiano from Exeter High School. The dynamic sophomore led the Blue Hawks into the Division I state tournament as the number 1 seed with a record of 17-1. A catcher and center fielder for Exeter, she also bats leadoff where she has proven to be a dangerous player to deal with. She reached base in all 18 games either by hit, walk, or hit by pitch. She leads the team with 37 hits, 38 runs, 29 RBI, 23 stolen bases, and a .587 batting average. She has struck out just once. She was recently named Division I First Team All-State for the 2nd straight season. Congratulations, Annie. Annie is attending academic camp at the U.S. Naval Academy and unable to be with us tonight. But accepting on her behalf is her teammates Kristen Beebe and Summer Leclerc. Next, we have awards for swimming and diving. Will all the award nominees in swimming and diving please stand? The girls' swimming and diving athlete of the year is Megan Reich of St. Thomas Aquinas High School. And the boys' swimming and diving athlete of the year is Noah Kerr of Dover High School. Reich, a senior from St. Thomas Aquinas, won both the 200-yard freestyle and 500-yard freestyle titles at the Division II championships, leading St. Thomas to 6th place finish in the team competition. She is the state record holder in both events, a mark she set in 2020. Reich was undefeated during her high school swimming career, in which she was a 3-time Scholastic All-American. She took her junior year off to focus on recruiting and national level events. Reich was heavily recruited at Duke, Virginia, North Carolina, and Harvard were among the schools seeking her services. She will swim at Princeton University. Reich was also the Seacoast Sports Award winner as a sophomore. Congratulations, Megan. Kerr, a senior, was instrumental in leading the Dover boys to their highest finish as a team in school history. Second at the Division I state meet with 207 points behind winner Bedford with 242. Kerr won 2 events and swam legs of 2 winning relays to help the Green Waves cause. He captured first in the 100-yard butterfly in 52.12 seconds, as well as the 100-yard backstroke in 54.33 seconds. The 2 winning relays were the 400 freestyle and 200 medley. Kerr's effort was particularly impressive since he tested positive for COVID 3 weeks before the state meet and essentially missed out on 2 weeks of practice time. He is still exploring his college options. Congratulations, Noah. Next, we have awards for tennis. Will all the award nominees in tennis please stand? The girls' tennis player of the year is Stella Sabini of Winnicott High School. And the boys' tennis player of the year is Griffin Leach of Dover High School. Sabini already has a pretty impressive tennis resume, and she's only a sophomore. Winnicott is #1 player this year, and last year as a freshman. She is a top local player seeded in the NHIAA singles tournament at #5, advancing to the quarterfinals. Her 4 losses this season were to the state's first, second, and fourth best players. She led the Warriors to the D1 state tournament and competed in the state doubles competition with teammate Emily Barnes. The duo was 12-4 in Division I this season and advanced to the state doubles quarterfinals. Congratulations, Stella. Leach has been Dover's captain the past 2 years, leading the Green Wave to the playoffs in both seasons in Division I. This year he went 11-3 in singles and 10-3 in doubles as the Green Wave had an overall record of 12-4. They beat Nashua North in the first round of the D1 tournament before losing to Derryfield in the quarters. Leach is seeded 8th in the NHIAA singles tournament, the only seeded local player. He will attend Southern New Hampshire University in the fall and plans to try out for the men's tennis team. Congratulations, Griffin. Next, we have awards for track and field. Will all the award nominees in track and field please stand? The girls' track and field athlete of the year is Sydney Lavelle of Exeter High School. And the boys' track and field athlete of the year is Nate Fletcher of Portsmouth High School. Lavelle capped a strong senior campaign by leading the Exeter girls to the Seacoast Championship and the Division I state title. She won 3 events at the Seacoast meet and was named the event's MVP. At the D1 meet, Lavelle won the 300-meter hurdles, was second in the 100 hurdles, and ran a leg of the winning 4x400 relay. At the meet of champions, she won 2 events, the 300 hurdles and the long jump. She was fourth in the 100 hurdles and ran with the 4x400 relay that was second. Lavelle will attend Quinnipiac University on scholarship. Congratulations, Sydney. Sydney could not be here tonight, but accepting her behalf is Exeter head coach Laura Smith. The versatile Fletcher, a senior, rose to the occasion when it mattered for Portsmouth. At the Division I track and field meet, he led the Clippers to the state title by winning 2 individual events, the 200-meter dash and 300-meter hurdles, while running a leg of 2 victorious relays, the 4x100 and 4x400. He followed that up at the meet of champions by winning the 300 hurdles, placing third in the 200 and running a leg of the winning 4x400 relay. He also ran with the 4x100 relay that was fifth. He holds or is part of 4 spring school records in the 300 hurdles, 200, and 2 relays. Fletcher plans to attend and compete with the track and field team at the University of New Hampshire. Congratulations, Nate. Next, we have awards for volleyball. Will all the award nominees in volleyball please stand? The girls' volleyball player of the year is Emma Hampton of Oyster River High School. Hampton, a junior, led the Bobcats to a record of 15-3 and a berth in the Division II semifinals. The junior outside hitter was picked to the D2 All-State first team for the second straight year and has started for Oyster River since she was a freshman. She was in the running for D2 Player of the Year honors. A versatile player, Hampton led the Bobcats with 245 kills to go along with 167 digs and 51 service aces. Congratulations, Emma. Now for the awards in wrestling. Will all the award nominees in wrestling please stand? And the wrestler of the year is Will Orso from York High School. Orso capped a superb senior season at York by winning both the Class B state title and the New England qualifier at 285 pounds, and then placed fourth at the New England Championships in Providence, Rhode Island. His record this year was 44-2 with 39 pins. He did not lose in Maine, and in fact did not lose a match until the New Englands. His career record was 131-28. Had he not missed his junior season because of COVID, he easily would have broken York's record for career wins. Orso was named to the Portland Press Herald All-State team. This fall, he will play football at Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut. Congratulations, Will. All right, that completes our first set of awards. Please join me one more time congratulating all of our outstanding players of the year. All right, let's get ready to bring out our special guest.
It's the time you've all been waiting for. Our special guest scored 16 goals with 28 assists this past season for the Boston Bruins, with 2 more in their 7-game first-round playoff series loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. A native of Weymouth, Massachusetts, he has spent the past 4 seasons in Boston after being traded from Minnesota, where he started his NHL career in 2013. Coyle, who also played at Boston University, was a first-round draft pick in 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, help me give a big Seacoast welcome to forward for Boston Bruins, Massachusetts native Charlie Coyle.
I feel like I gotta be back with you guys here. 2 up front. Like that.
Charlie, welcome to Portsmouth.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
This is a high school sports awards banquet, and grew up in Weymouth, Mass, the South Shore, Massachusetts. Played for Weymouth High School. As a freshman, you played at the TD Garden in the playoffs. Can you talk about that experience and when you were there skating for as a freshman on your high school team? Did you ever envision that one day down the road that you'd be playing as a member of the Boston Bruins on that same ice?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I was a freshman and I was just a little guy then. I think I'm 6'3" now. I was probably 5'5" at the time. Hadn't grown or developed, but luckily made the team as a freshman. I had a cousin on the team who was the senior captain. He was the best player in the state. So I was just a little guy on the team, just trying to find my way. And we had a good year. Played at TD Garden, made it all the way, and played for a championship, state championship. And I was just along for the ride. And didn't turn out too well. We lost 6-1. But the experience was unbelievable. It's when people ask some of my best hockey memories, I go back to that year. I learned so much. I grew as a player, a person. First year of high school, a lot going on. So it was pretty special to be a part of. You asked if I envisioned that. I mean, when I'm younger, I always wanted to play hockey, and I always wanted to. I grew up in Weymouth, Mass, so I always wanted to play for the Bruins. That's just the team you do envision playing for. And so, yeah, I did envision it. I think that's a key thing to do. When you want something, you envision it over and over again. You dream about it, you think about it, and then when you do that stuff, you do the necessary things to make it happen. You slowly, subconsciously do it, and it's crazy looking back now to see all those things that sometimes I didn't realize I was even doing it. Sometimes I did, but to see where you are now. Did I think when I was 5'5" playing that game that I'd be there necessarily? No, but I always worked as hard as I could to try to make that a possibility, and I feel very fortunate where I am right now.
Maybe the audience can help me with a question I had. Make some noise if you're a multi-sport athlete for your high school. I mean, that's a thing we hear about all the time, right? We hear about, you play multiple sports. It's going to help you down the road. How many sports did you play growing up? Maybe for your high school team, Charlie, and then how did that help you as you made your journey towards being a professional hockey player?
Yeah, I played pretty much everything. Not necessarily on teams. I played soccer, hockey, baseball. I played football in the backyard with the friends, basketball. I had 2 older sisters. They played volleyball, basketball, softball, soccer. So we would always play in the backyard, and we're always doing something. I loved hockey. That was always my love. That trumped everything else. But I love playing other sports, working on different skills. I think a lot of the time today, and especially with younger kids, is I think parents kind of, whether it's the parents or kids or whoever, both kind of forcing them to play sport year round. And I think that you see kids get burnt out, and the volume. I'll just go by hockey. It's hockey's a different movement with our hips and all that, and to do that over and over again and all year round, it kind of wears on you. So one is just a break, which I think is great to do. 2, you play in other sports, learn different skills. I think it's just a really good thing, and I can't stress that enough. I love playing different sports and getting to know other teammates and the ins and outs. And, sometimes other sports and things you learn there can help you in your main sport, So I was very fortunate to have those opportunities and have my parents do that and kind of get me to venture out a little bit. And I think that definitely helped me, and I think it definitely helped most people.
As a young athlete growing up in Weymouth, what was your first goal as an athlete?
That's a tough one. I don't know an exact goal. I started playing when I was really young, and you start because you love to do it, and I just love playing. So that was the start of it. I think that's the other thing you can touch on too, with parents making your kids play all the time, and you learn you get burnt out, and you learn to kind of not like it as much, right? So you want to keep that excitement, that love for the game. I think that's so huge. That's why we still play. When we're in the locker room talking about what we're going to do, our game plan, and someone will say, hey, let's not forget what we're doing here. Like, this is for love of the game. This is why we're all kids. We feel like kids when we play this game. That never leaves. And that's how you start out, and that's something you always remember. So it's the love for the game and just working hard. My parents were hardworking people and just blue collar, and so we learned that from them, that those traits, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. So that's what we did. And then when you work hard and all of a sudden you have success with it and you accomplish something, like you guys here tonight, it feels good, and you want to keep doing it more and more. So I think it was just kind of getting better and keeping that love for the game. I loved going out, playing street hockey, playing pond hockey. I just loved everything about it. And so I love playing sports, come from a big sports family, and I think just as you can tell, that stress, the love for the game, I just stressed that enough, and I think that was the key.
No. There are a lot of good athletes in the crowd, and we can sit here and be like, we swear you can be sitting in this crowd and then go and play for a professional team. But Charlie literally was at a sports awards event put on by this same company from the Patriot Ledger way back in the day. It was like the All-Skulls event.
All-Scholastic, oh yeah.
He was in a seat just like this, and he's now playing for the Boston Bruins. So it can happen. We're not just saying it can happen. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And my question after that is, like, your journey is complete. You get to the pros, and you immediately get traded, right? And you got traded twice in your career. And I know both times were very different. When you got traded to the Wild after being drafted by the San Jose Sharks, and then you get traded home to the Bruins after growing up in Massachusetts, playing high school hockey in Weymouth and all that. Two very different dynamics. The first time you get traded and the second time, right? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I was drafted by San Jose right out of high school, senior year, got drafted. So, of course, you don't know where you're going to until that team calls your name, and you fall in love with that team right away. So I'm a San Jose Shark. I used to play for the Bay State Sharks when I was younger, so we had like the same jerseys, so I was all pumped up. Started loving the team, would follow them. I went to college. I went to Boston University right after I was drafted, and while I was there, I got traded that next draft, actually, which was in Minnesota, ironically, and they traded me to Minnesota before I even played a game for San Jose. So like, your first instinct is, oh my gosh, you know what, they don't like me anymore. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Was I not performing? But you just kind of find out the nature of the business, and that's what they did. I went to Minnesota, got to play 6.5 years there. I loved it. Met my fiance there, and so a lot of good things happened because of that. And I think being away from home and starting out your career where people don't really know you as much, there's less kind of distractions, I think that really was beneficial for me. When Minnesota traded me, well, I'll just start with they traded me. I got a call. It's a funny story. I got a call from our GM. We were supposed to be on a plane to New York to play the Rangers, and we're still in Minnesota. I got a call from him, and he says, hey, we're trading you. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, to where? He goes, I can't tell you. The trade hasn't fully processed yet, and I just don't want you to get on the plane to go to New York only to come back. So at that point, there was a few hour span where I didn't know. I was in the NHL, but I wasn't on a team. I didn't know who I was playing for, and it probably doesn't sound that weird, but it was the weirdest feeling in the world, and just not knowing where you're going to end up. I went home, told my girlfriend at the time, hey, I just got traded. She says, to where? I said, I have no clue. And it's her emotions are going, mine are going. We don't know. Like, our whole whole world's kind of in the air right now, just not knowing what's going on. And so I was just like any other fan or person. I was refreshing Twitter. I had the NHL Network on, trying to figure out anything. Texting my buddies, hey, anyone hear anything? And you guys think we got inside scoops. I learned half the things from my buddies and Twitter. So, and then finally you learn it's Boston, and it was like, oh my gosh. And it was just such a crazy, cool feeling, the team you grew up watching, and when you envision yourself, you're playing for the hometown team. So I feel very lucky that happens. Not everyone gets to do that and get that chance, but it's hard to find complaints right now when you're playing at home, and I get to see my family more, my parents, my sisters, my grandmother. It's pretty special just to get to do that and do my job at the same time. So I'm very, very lucky.
So you grew up in Weymouth. You are now playing for the Bruins. You decided to go to Boston University for college. You spent 2 years there, and then you left to go play junior hockey. How difficult of a decision was it for you to leave BU to go play junior hockey?
Yeah, it was probably one of the toughest decisions I ever had to make. To be exact, I did my freshman year at BU. My sophomore year, I played up until Christmas, and was led to, hey, I think you should leave school, and just my future GM telling my agents this, and I think you leave school and go play juniors, play more games, and you're going to turn pro the next year. I think you should go do this. And on one hand, I'm going, hey, I can't leave my team halfway through the year. But then your future boss is giving you the blueprint to, hey, I think you should do this. It was a tough decision, but we had a lot of talks with my parents and agents and the people close to me, and we were always school, which I think is a very good thing. We always wanted school. That was first and foremost, get an education. That's why I went to a prep school when I was in high school. So to leave, and it was a tough decision, Granted, I can always go back to school and finish that. That's always available for me. So that was the one net that was making me make that decision. But it was still the toughest thing I think I've ever had to do. And go and tell my coach and teammates that, hey, I'm leaving, and doing that. I think everyone has their own path of where they want to be and to get what they do. Sometimes you have to make difficult decisions, and sometimes it's the right one, sometimes the wrong one, but you live with it and just keep moving forward. And yeah, that was something that it's even hard to talk about still, because it was such a crazy day and to make that and do that. So.
And when you made that decision, how was that received by your coach and teammates at BU?
Not very well. Not very well. I remember going into Jack Parker's office, and Jack Parker, if you guys don't know him, he coached Boston University Terriers hockey team for 40 something years, and he was he's a legend, and he's been there for a while. So to go in there, I was pretty intimidated, and I'm having to tell him I'm not coming back was one of the toughest things I ever had to do. So I don't wish that on anyone to have to go do that, but like I said, sometimes you got to make difficult decisions, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But
I think every high school athlete in here, you ask them who's maybe your top mentor, they'd probably be able to answer that really fast, right? They're one of their coaches, maybe an older teammate. As a Bruins fan, I'm really worried about Patrice Bergeron right now. Sounds like he might be almost maybe retiring, right? Might not be coming back. Chara's obviously moved on. David Krejci's moved on. Tuukka Rask has moved on. So that old Bruins core is it's kind of gone almost, right? It's almost completely gone. But going back to Patrice Bergeron, a guy who might be retiring, how big of a mentor was he? And maybe who were some of your big role models and mentors coming up through?
Yeah, he was definitely one of them, I think, from afar early on. I remember I think I was 12 years old. He was, I think, an 18-year-old rookie. I think the lockout was going on, so I think the AHL season was still going on, so he was playing down in Providence. I had a tournament down there, so we played. I think the Providence Bruins played after us. And I always remember I was 12 years old, and we waited for the players to come out. We watched a game, they waited for them to come out after, and Patrice Bergeron comes out, barely speaking English, but we knew he was, the new and upcoming guy, and I have his autograph. I think there's a picture somewhere out there, and it's just funny. I was in middle school, I think, 12 years old, and and now all of a sudden I'm in the same locker room as them. It's just one of those things you have to kind of pinch yourself every day. But I've heard a lot about him when I first entered the league, and of course watching him growing up, and just you hear stories about the kind of person he is, the kind of leader he is. We all know, everyone sees the kind of player he is, but those other two are very important. So be able to learn from a guy like that every day and be in that same locker room and see how hard he works, see how he treats himself and what he does to be the best he can be, it's pretty special. And then on top of all that, just how the person he is, it's off the charts. Everyone says he's like the perfect person and player. He really is. Like he's always there for everyone. He's always asking you how you're doing, and he genuinely wants to know. I could go on and on about him. I think everyone kind of gets the gist of it, but he's how you want, I think, your kid to be. He's just a great person, and that's why people love him so much. Yeah, he's great at hockey. That's cool, but he's just an awesome person, and that's what you need. I think that's what my parents stressed to me too, is how you treat people and all that, especially during high school. And I think that's something very important. I know I'm going off a tangent here, but I think that stuff's very important, and Patrice Bergeron is a great example of that.
You think he's coming back?
I hope so. Like I said before, I'm refreshing Twitter just like you guys, and I don't know any inside scoop. I can honestly tell you that, and I hope he comes back for one more, and because he's still got it.
And as Ryan mentioned, you were once in these kids' seats when you were at an all-scholastic event when you were in high school. And what's the best advice can you give these student athletes on how to get to their goals, whether it be college, whether it be playing in college, whether it just be working hard at the next level? What's your best advice for these kids tonight?
Yeah, it gets harder and harder and tougher as you get up, and you go from your town school, and then you go to a college where other people are coming, and it's harder and harder. And then you get to college, pros, wherever you want to get to. It's a tough thing, and there's so much competition. I just remember when I think it was my draft year, maybe even before that, and I wanted to get drafted. I wanted to put myself in the best position. So I started thinking about, well, hey, how many other kids around this country, around town, wherever, and beyond, around the world, want what I want? I got to work harder than them, and people are born with, some are a little better, some have more skill, some have this and that, but, hard work, everyone can do that, right? And some have to work harder than others. That's just plain and simple. That's just how it is. But I always wanted to, not have any regrets and do what I can. If I came up short, then that's fine. Like, at least I can live with that. I gave it everything I had, but I always wanted to do the stuff that other people weren't doing. So, I'd come home, this is in high school, I'd come home after school and obviously do my homework and get that done, but, you have your practice, but everyone goes to practice, right? Every hour practice, everyone does that. So how are you going to get better than that next person, right? Well, I go home, and for me, I went and shot pucks. I'd go stick handle. I'd do things on my own, and I don't think many people are doing that, right? So I'm getting the edge and those little advantages every day, and those add up, right? And so I think whatever you guys want to do, if you guys want to play sports or whatever, work, do whatever. It's you got to put in the time and effort, and I think everyone always wonders, what's the secret to get to here? What's the secret to do that? I think the secret is there's no secret. It's just you work hard. You work hard, you be a good person, and then when you fail, you just keep going. Like everyone, I think I told this to someone else here earlier, but everyone who's at the highest level has failed. It's not everyone. No one does that, right? It's like this and like this, and I think you'd hear some really good stories from different people of almost just quitting, but they don't. They keep going. So whatever you want to do, just keep doing it, and you're going to get better. You're going to learn. You fail, you learn from it, and you keep going. So I think that's kind of the gist of it. But there's no secret. It's just hard work, and doing whatever you can to get where you want. If you really love doing that, then just do it.
You talked, Charlie, about how, you got traded twice, had to deal with that as a pro, had to deal with your team telling you, I can't tell you where you're getting traded, but you're getting traded, and you got to deal with that, personally. How about, in hockey especially, there's these devastating losses, and you and the Bruins, in your Bruins tenure, have been a part of a few of them. There was another Game 7 this year, right, that you guys came up short. How as a pro do you turn the page on that? That is just like, it's always the most painful scene, you and your teammates after that kind of loss. It's just, you could always see it, like Brad Marchand, you could see it on their face in the post game, right? How do you turn the page? Like, what's your process?
Yeah, it's tough. We already talked about when I played freshman year in high school state championship. I lost to the Garden 6-1. I lost Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals at the Garden. I've lost bean pots. I've lost a lot of stuff at the TD Garden. So it's going to turn around. I think next year's the year, but stuff happens. Like I said, we all fail, right? And we always talk about, actually, Patrice Bergeron. He says a lot. It's the next play. Whatever happened. You can't do anything about it, so forget it. Sometimes it's tough, but if you can work on that mentally, and I try to pride myself being a positive person. My mom's like, I think I get that from her. My dad too, but she's the most positive person in the world, so I'm lucky to have that. But it's about forgetting, have a short memory, and just moving on. It's not always as simple as that. It's easier said than done. But you talk about things, you talk through it, teammates, parents, friends. I think that helps as well. But you can't do anything about it. If you can't control it, then it's not worth your time. So I think just kind of forgetting things, and you learn from it, right? Like I said, you fail, you learn from it, move on, and you'll do it better the next time. And if you don't, so what? Put it behind you again and keep doing it. Like I said, you keep doing something over and over and failing, where you're going to eventually succeed. So that's what I'm telling myself. I've lost too many times at the Garden, so I
definitely way too many times.
Yeah, I'm just pumping myself up right now. I'm not talking to you guys.
When you finally joined the Bruins, did you talk to, when you got to know Patrice as a teammate, as a friend, did you mention that encounter you guys had when you were 12 and he was 18?
Yeah, I'm still nervous to talk to him, so I don't even know if I've had a conversation with him. But no, yeah, we brought it up a few times, just kind of in talking a little bit. And I think at one point he's like, "I'm getting old," and I'm like, "You're not that old." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, you know what? You are, because I was 12 years old and you were playing." And then we kind of had a little laugh about it. But it's just crazy that I grew up watching those guys, and Bergeron, Chara, Krejci, Rask, and then to be able to play with them and learn from them, it's pretty special. Even Zdeno Chara, I've always heard of what kind of leader he was and how he treats everyone. He treats rookies the same as veterans, and he always wants everyone's input. I remember I just got there at playing for the Bruins, probably my first week there, so I'm kind of new. I'm kind of quiet as it is, so I'm kind of just doing my thing. And I think Chara was talking to the coach, and they're like, "Hey, I think we're gonna have practice tomorrow at 10 a.m. Or what do you think? Should we have 10 or 11? What do you think?" And Chara, I'm just kind of hearing it. I'm kind of doing my thing, and Chara goes, "I don't know." And he goes, "Charlie, what do you think we should do?" And I'm like, "What?" First of all, I'm new. It's Zdeno Chara. He's 45 years old. And he wants my opinion. I'm like, I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. It's like, just 10:30, cut it in half. I don't know, like whatever you want. Like just, and but that's the kind of guy he was. He genuinely wanted to know what everyone thought, because it was a team, and everyone played their part and everyone had a say. And especially a guy who's been there for 20 years and he wants to know what I want. I've been there for 3 days, But that's the stuff you like to hear, and I was always a fan of him, watching him, not playing against him, but then you meet those people and you see how they really are, and you're like, this is pretty cool, Yeah. So we've had a lot of good people in that locker room that I've gotten to learn from, so I feel special to be there.
Want to do some rapid fire? Get to know Charlie Coyle a little bit closer, Jay?
Sure.
Tough stuff.
I'll go first. These are some hard hitters. Maybe I'll squeeze Bruce Cassidy in here somewhere. I don't know. These are some hard hitters. What's your favorite color?
I think black. Is that weird to say?
Perfect. You're a Bruin.
I usually wear a black suit, so.
Yeah.
How about favorite type of candy?
Reese's peanut butter cups. I put that on. Yeah. Put on everything. Ice cream, whatever.
Everyone remembers their first car. I don't know if everyone in the crowd has a car yet, but you will remember mine was a 1996 Geo Prism. The windows went down. It was automatic windows. It was sweet. It was a nice car. What was your first car, Charlie?
I'm not a car guy. I don't know cars at all, but I think it was a 1997 Saab, green Saab.
Yes.
It
Very
fell apart
good.
pretty quick, but I paid for that myself. I take pride in that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who was your best friend growing up? What was his name?
Best friend growing up, my cousin Trevor. We're still close. He's my best man at my wedding coming up, and we were cousins, but we're always just viewed each other as friends. We played together all the way growing up and until high school, and we were always really close.
Why do you like dogs so much?
How can you not like dogs?
I know, seriously, I love dogs too. I'm just reading the question.
I love dogs. I've always liked dogs. I grew up with one, and now I have 2 golden retrievers that I absolutely love. And yeah, so I love spending time with them and taking them to the park. And it's just I mean, any dog in general. But you walk by people and people just are smiling and they're smiling at the dogs and they don't know who I am. It's great. And they just look at the dogs and it just makes people happy. So I love dogs. I love them. So, good question.
Thank you.
All right, so you have 2 Goldens. What are the names? What are their names?
We got Bodie, he's 3 years old, and Gracie, she's just turned 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I like these questions about the dog. What else do you get about
We
them?
got one more. We got another
I'll
dog
talk
one.
about them all
I got
night.
another dog one. Seriously, how'd you come up with their names?
My fiance liked. She liked. Oh, what did she like?
We're not recording this. are we?
She liked the name Bo. I like Bo, but it kind of sounds like no. I didn't want to get when we're training him and all that. And I like Buddy, but it's too cliche. Buddy, like Air Bud. So Bo, Buddy, we went Bodie.
Bodie, okay.
And then Gracie, I don't know. I just like that name for some reason, and we went with a Gracie girl, Bodie boy. Kind of goes so.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think we have a few minutes for about 3 or 5 questions from the audience. So
Who we got?
If you have a question for Charlie, come on up and fire away.
Don't be shy. Ask me anything.
Tell us your name too.
Okay, my name is Gracie.
Gracie, I like Gracie.
Yes. We did not plan that.
You can ask me anything you want.
Okay. What players did you look up to?
What favorite players?
Or what players?
What players?
Yeah.
Well, I guess hockey, we already covered a few of them. Patrice Bergeron, because he played for the Bruins, and I was from here, and I still look up to him today. Can learn from him. I had a cousin, Tony Amonte. He's from Hingham, Mass. He played for a few different teams in the NHL, and he was a cousin of mine. So to have someone in my family who made it, that made it much more real for me, and I love looking up to him. And then, of course, Tom Brady, just because he's Tom Brady. Good question.
Hi, I'm Summer. I go to Exeter High School, and my question is, how important are work ethic and reliability?
It's huge. It's huge. There's a lot of different traits you can have to give you success in life, but I mean those are big ones, and some people are kind of, I guess, born in a way with that kind of, but you can learn it too. You can learn it through teammates, friends, parents, and it's so huge in whatever you do, not just sports, right? But I'm a big component on the work ethic, and that's what we were taught at a young age. Everything we did, whether it was schoolwork, whether it was sports, whether it was making your bed, like you do everything 100%, you have work ethic and everything, it's a habit, and you're going to do it in other aspects of life, right? So like, I'd always have that in my mind too. Like, if I do something kind of, not to the full extent, right? I'm going to do it on the playing field or on the ice rink, right? That was my thought. So everything I do, or you're brushing your teeth, or whatever you do, go 100%. Good question.
Hi, my name is Kristen, and my question is, what is the inspiration behind 3A gear in the dungeon?
Oh, that's a good question. So the story with that is I went to, there's a couple of guys from Weymouth High School, and they're a little older than me, and they started a clothing business. And they kind of asked me if, hey, you want to come on and we'll have a Charlie Coyle line or whatever. I've never really had that before. And they said, proceeds are going to go to the Weymouth Dungeon, which the Weymouth Dungeon is, the high school I went to, and Pat O'Toole was our strength coach, and he was all volunteer work at this gym, and he would train all the high school athletes, and he was an older guy, and he volunteered his time, and he put his heart and soul into this, and these guys wanted to help him out through the CC13 3A gear, and so I jumped right on board with that. I was like, we got to take care of him and help out in any way we can, so it was good on those guys to kind of start that and get me involved. So if you guys don't know about 3A gear, maybe look it up and buy some stuff. You'd be happy helping out a good guy.
Hi, my name's Emma, and my question is, was there a high school teacher or coach that influenced you?
Ooh, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint one particular. There's been a number where you kind of take bits and pieces, and they've helped you in different ways, It's so tough. I guess I can kind of go on a little tangent, but my dad kind of coached me all the way up, and until I got to high school, and I guess I really haven't talked about him much, so I kind of wanted to use that as. But he was my coach all the way up, and I learned so much from him, and to take his time to volunteer to help me and help my teammates and things like that. But I guess when I got to high school, he kind of backed away and was just kind of a fan in the crowd and kind of kept civil. He wasn't a crazy hockey parent like most people are, But I had plenty of coaches and teachers that I really looked up to, and when I'm asked that question, I hate picking out just one. I don't, because then I feel bad, but I was always taught to respect my teachers, respect my coaches, and really listen to them, because one, they are there in their own time and volunteering, and so you should respect them no matter what. But you can learn a lot when you just kind of sit back and listen, and I think that can go a long way. Good questions.
And we have 250 student athlete nominees here. As we conclude this part of our show, what do you want these kids to leave here tonight with?
Ooh. It's a lot of pressure.
Right on the spot.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered a lot of it, things that I want to talk about, just as far as work ethic and what you guys want to do. That's a toughie. I think but enjoying it. Like, it goes fast. It really does, and I'm sure your parents say that, and coaches, teachers, but it does. Like, I miss when I was in high school and playing on those teams, and you think you're, you are young, but you think you're going to live forever and it's going to go by slow. It really doesn't, and it kind of goes by very quick. So just kind of enjoy it, and I think the way of enjoying it, whether you're in sport, in school, but you put in that work ethic. And I think when you work hard, I always say the harder you work, the more fun you're going to have, no matter what you're doing. But just enjoy the moment. Like, stay in the moment. Don't think too far ahead. Don't try to too far ahead, but just whatever you're doing, put 100% effort and thought into that at the time, and just really enjoy it, because you're going to make relationships and meet people and have great coaches and teachers that you're going to miss. So I guess just enjoy it, enjoy the moment that you're in, and you'll get to where you want to be. But if you take care of the present, then the future will be great.
Charlie Coyle.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
At Mass General Brigham, we hear you. Sports medicine care driven by research and determination. Top specialists who understand your athletic dreams, goals, and the need to get back to them. Together, we'll write your comeback story.
What does it mean to be a good neighbor and a place families bank for generations? For Piscataqua Savings Bank, it's building relationships, offering advice, and being involved in the community. Piscataqua Savings Bank became a certified B Corp in 2019. We put people and planet before profit. It's really a culture and a mindset. It goes into every decision that we make. What's the impact on the employee? What's the impact on the customer? What's the impact on the community? Piscataqua Savings Bank since 1877.
Thank you, Charlie Coyle, in sharing your story about coming with these kids. Thank you. And now we move on to the top awards of the night. Up next, we have the I Am Sport Award presented by Piscataqua Savings Bank. To help present this award, please welcome to the stage President and Chief Executive Officer of Piscataqua Savings Bank, Joan Gile. Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of Piscataqua Savings Bank, I am honored to present the I Am Sport Award. This award is given to a student athlete who has used qualities often learned through sports to help others in their community. Recognizing that good sportsmanship extends well beyond competition, they've used their connections, leadership, and experience in teamwork to better their community through service. The I Am Sport Award is given to the student who embodies sport through service. And the 2022 I Am Sport Award recipient is Joe Neal of York High School. Joe Neal, a senior at York High School, is the rare four-sport high school athlete. Yes, 4 sports over a 3-season school year. Joe ran cross country in the fall, placing 16th in the Class B state meet. In the winter, Neal got the green light from his athletic director and coaches to compete in both wrestling and hockey. What did he do? Neal won the Maine Class B wrestling state championship at 160 pounds and then went 3-0 in the Maine New England qualifier to advance to the New England Championships. He suffered a knee injury playing hockey the day before he was scheduled to compete in the New England Wrestling Championship and couldn't compete. For hockey, Neal, a team captain, had 12 goals and 23 assists for a team-high 39 points, leading York to the Class B South quarterfinals. This March, Neal received the 18th annual Evans Spear Award. This award is given each year to the most outstanding senior boys hockey player in Class B South, not only in terms of significant on-ice success at the varsity hockey level in their high school career, but equally in their terms of character, passion, and spirit in the memory of Evans Spear. Spear, a 2000 graduate of Yarmouth High School, died in May 2004 after a battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Neal was also a two-year varsity catcher on York's baseball team. He batted .383 with 7 doubles and 15 RBIs. This season, Neal, who has served as his class president for the last 3 years, graduates with a GPA of 4.0. He has been involved in 19 different fundraisers during his time at York High School and helped raise more than $25,000 for various projects. Neal will attend the United States Air Force Academy in the fall. Congratulations, Joe.
It is my great honor to present the award for the Coach of the Year, given to a coach who has shown tremendous leadership and commitment to excellence through success in their sport, but also through their incredible impact on the lives of student athletes. It is my honor to present the Coach of the Year award. Will all the nominees for Coach of the Year please stand to be recognized? The finalists for Coach of the Year, the Marshwood High School Class A state champions, Ben DeShane, the Division I Softball state champions Kristen Morissette, and the Division II boys hockey state champions Dan Strabone. And the winner for Coach of the Year is Ben Deshane of Marshwood High School. Deshane has spent 10 years building the Marshwood program up, and in 2021, the Hawks finally broke through. They went 16-2-1 to win the program's first Class A state championship. That run to the state title featured wins in their final 10 games, including a 5-0 journey through the Class A tournament as the number 4 seed. They capped it off with a dramatic 2-1 come-from-behind win over Brunswick in the waning moments of the state final. Deshane patiently built things up, suffering through a losing season early on. However, in his 10 years, the team had 9 winning seasons and made 8 playoffs. There was no tournament in 2020. The last 4 to 5 years, you could see the Hawks coming. They had solid regular seasons, followed by a win or two in the playoffs. Then came the fall of 2021. A hallmark of that experienced Marshwood team was its ability to remain mentally tough under pressure even when behind. They did not fluster. That was something that Deshane repeatedly impressed upon them, and it paid off on more than one occasion. The Portland Press-Herald also selected Deshane as its main high school boys soccer of the year. Congratulations. After recognizing greatness in coaching, it makes sense to highlight athletes who came together under their guidance to perform at a level above the competition. In that spirit, it's my honor to present the award for the Team of the Year. If you are a member of a nominated Team of the Year, will you please stand? The finalists for the Team of the Year are the Division I Field Hockey State Champions, Exeter High School. The Division II Boys Hockey State Champions, St. Thomas Aquinas. And the Class A State Champions, Marshwood High School Boys Soccer. And the winner for Team of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas Boys Hockey. The Saints capped a perfect 23-0 season with 2 wins in the Division II state tournament, a come-from-behind 6-2 win over Somersworth Co-Brown in the semifinals, despite trailing 2-0 after 2 periods, and a commanding 6-1 decision in the championship over Portsmouth Newmarket. It was St. Thomas's 3rd title in 4 years. It also marked just the 2nd time in the history of Division II hockey that a team went undefeated, and the first time since Spalding did it in 2006-2007. The Deep St. Thomas team, coached by Dan Strabone, navigated a difficult Seacoast schedule that not only included Summersworth, Co-Brown, Portsmouth, Newmarket, but also Oyster River, Dover, and Winnicott. With 3 solid lines and 6 deep on defense, St. Thomas Aquinas also won the prestigious St. Dominic Christmas Tournament in Maine for the first time in 6 years. Junior heavy St. Thomas had wins over strong teams from Smithfield, Rhode Island, Notre Dame High School of West Haven, Connecticut, and Edward Little of Auburn, Maine. In addition, 5 Saints made the Division II All-State team led by first-team picks Finn Connor and Lincoln Stone. Congratulations on a great season. And now it's time to honor greatness and strength that transcends sports with the 2022 Courage Award presented by Mass General Brigham Sports Medicine at Wentworth Douglas Hospital. To help present this very special award, I'd like to welcome to the stage John Beauchesne, Assistant Vice President, Mass General Brigham Wentworth Douglas Hospital.
Wow, what a great night. Before I get started, how about a round of applause for the fabulous job that Jay Pinsino has done as our MC tonight. Let me start by saying how excited I am to be here tonight. More importantly, I'm equally excited to be a resident of York, Maine. I want to congratulate all the Wildcat nominees and award winners and their parents tonight. Big round of applause for all of you. It's an honor for me to be here tonight to present this evening's Courage Award. As the leader of our sports medicine team at Wentworth Douglas, we see a lot of incredible comeback stories. Wentworth Douglas and Mass General Sports Medicine have the most comprehensive range of sports medicine and orthopedic services on the Seacoast. And nothing is more rewarding to us than to watch a student athlete return to the field after overcoming an illness or injury. But tonight's Courage Award is about a teenager who simply had a bump in the road. Isn't about a teenager who simply had a bump in the road. It's about a young woman who has persevered through a lifelong challenge. Lena Nicholson, a junior at Newmarket High School, was born with a genetic disorder that caused her to grow far more quickly than most kids. At 9 years old, she was already 6 feet tall and reached 6'5" at the age of 14. Her size often led to bullying. But there's a popular saying in sports, especially in basketball: you can't teach height. And Lena has certainly used hers. She was a Division IV honorable mention basketball selection this year, scoring a career-high 27 points in her first-round tournament win over Hinsdale. She also placed 5th in the shot put in a first round in this year's Division III state track meet. Lena has used her high school athletics as a vehicle to gain acceptance, confidence, and tonight, our praise.
This kid has had a rough road. She's 2 weeks late being born. She's taken her time. and was 10 pounds, 7 ounces when she was born, 26.5 inches long. They did some genetic testing and found that she was diagnosed with something called Soto syndrome, which is it's classified by overgrowth specifically as a child, before adolescence. She didn't speak until she was about 3. When she was in daycare, they taught her sign language. So sign language was her main form of communication. It really wasn't until she found sports that she started to really find her own. And that has really helped her come out of her shell, really kind of find a place where she's celebrated for her size, which is just not something that you see, just in regular everyday life.
Yeah, sports have helped me come out of my shell a lot more because I've gained confidence by playing sports. And through track and basketball, I've learned to use being tall as an advantage.
Naturally, you would expect a tall player, is going to do well on the court. She's going to be welcomed, of course, by her teammates. But it's really hard to sit in the stands and hear some of the parents in the background making comments. The only time I ever hear her goofy is when she's on the sideline with the kids on the team, kind of goofing around with their teammates. And that makes me so proud of her and so proud of who she's becoming.
Yeah, the team aspect of it, and having 12 other people on the court, and during the season, going through the ups and downs with them.
Having Lena for 3 years, getting to know her. On our team, she's one of our most consistent, hardest workers every day. She's probably the first one in the gym every day, and getting herself in here to get some extra shots up, and then just her consistent hard work. She's just pushing everybody to be better every day in her quiet way of doing it. But yeah, you can definitely tell that working through her past, Lena's definitely had some challenges in her life, and she doesn't let those things affect her at all. She just shows up and gets the job done, and just seeing her improve, her movement was one thing for sure that was a struggle for her, but just because she dedicates to wanting to do the best she can, she's just come so far.
I've seen players look at their coaches in disbelief, talk to their teammates about how tall I am, and they say I wouldn't want to play against her.
She hit a 3 in a game this year, and the bench went crazy, the people in the stands went crazy. She was all smiles and everything. For her to step out and hit a 3 in a game and everybody go crazy was awesome. I was happy for her to be able to have that moment.
Lena, as a track athlete, is an amazing individual. When she comes to practice, she's always ready to go. She's definitely the hardest working thrower that I've had. Every year she has a goal to win a state championship or make it to states. She's definitely a very strong thrower. She just always desires to do well and puts a lot of effort and work into that. Same thing with the disc.
From going to the overseas market has been good. I've developed a lot of new friendships and met a lot of new people.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for the 2022 Courage Award recipient, Lena Nicholson.
What's up, everybody? Rob Gronkowski here, and I want to give all of the student athletes a major shout out for having a great year and earning this special honor. I'm here to help celebrate you, your accomplishments, and your wins. You are all winners in my book, and I know about winning. Just keep putting in that work towards achieving your goals in both sports and life, because the sky's the limit. But you are the only one who can make it happen. These winners are a true testament of that. Here are your Athletes of the Year.
Big thanks to Gronk for providing a special message for tonight's show. And make sure to tune in to the USA Today National High School Sports Show on July 31st, hosted by Gronk and Vernon Davis. It will be one you won't want to miss. It is time for our biggest awards of the night, the Boys and Girls Athlete of the Year. And now for the Girls Athlete of the Year and the three finalists for this ultra-competitive award are Carrie Drake, York High School, Karis Fennessy, Dover High School, and Megan Reich, St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Girls Athlete of the Year, sophomore, Carrie Drake of York High School. Drake had a breakout sophomore year in every season, developing into one of the top distance runners in not only Maine, but also New England. She started the year by climbing to the top tier in cross country. She was second at both the Maine Class B South and Class B State meet and was fifth fastest in New England. Drake capped an outstanding winter season at the New England Championships by placing second in the mile run in a photo finish by 1,000th of a second. Her time was 5 minutes, 1.15 seconds, improving on her school record by 13 seconds. At the Class B state meet, she won the mile and the 2 mile to lead York to Class B team runner-up honors. She also ran a leg of the victorious 4x800 meter relay. In the spring, she participated in 2 sports, helping the York girls lacrosse team to the Class B state championship, while leading the Wildcat track and field team to the Western Maine Conference and Class B state championships. In both meets, she won the mile and the 2 mile runs, while also running a leg of the winning 4x800 meter relay. Congratulations, Carrie Drake. And now for the final award of the night, the 2022 Boys Athlete of the Year. This is such a competitive and prestigious award. The finalists are Matt Charpentier, York High School, Tucker McCann, Winnicott High School, and Trevor Wozni, Marshwood High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Boys Athlete of the Year, Tucker McCann of Winnicott High School. McCann had an outstanding senior season in 3 different sports. He led the Winnicott football team to an 11-1 record and a berth in the Division I state championship game. He rushed for a team-high 1,322 yards and scored 14 touchdowns while being named the Max Preps Player of the Year, as well as the Division I East Conference First Team and Seacoast Sports Awards Offensive Player of the Year. He had 8 100-yard games, including 151 yards and a pair of touchdowns in a 21-14 semifinal win over Exeter. In wrestling, he advanced to the Division II state championship in the 170-pound weight class. He also placed in the Meet of Champions. McCann was also a starting member of the Winnicott boys lacrosse team that made it to the Division II tournament and advanced to the quarterfinals. A third of the McCann triplets, he wrestled with his two brothers, Jack and Levon, played football with Jack, and lacrosse with Levon. McCann plans to attend Western New England College and play football. Congratulations, Tucker.
Please welcome to the stage Andrew Chernoff, Vice President of Sales and Strategy for Seacoast Media Group.
Thank you all. Thank you athletes, parents, coaches, and the community supporters for celebrating with us tonight. Before we leave though, we have one more award to announce, our Social Media Athlete of the Year. Let's get our guests out here. Charlie Coyle, come back out here one more time to help announce the winner. Our social media athlete is Haley Riley. Come on down, Haley. Did we lose Haley? Stop. She's busy posting, yes. Okay. Well, make it down when you can and take a picture with Charlie. And don't forget, all award winners, please make your way. Oh. Anything goes in social media, so be careful out there, kids. But don't forget, all award winners, please make your way back to the backstage for a group photo. Again, before we wrap, a huge thank you to our partner sponsors, Piscataqua Savings Bank, Mass General Brigham Sports Medicine at Wentworth Douglas Hospital, and New England Furniture. Thank you all very much. A special thanks to the staff of Seacoast Media Group. And don't forget to check out the show, the pictures from tonight's show on Seacoast Online and Fosters.com. Good luck, seniors.
Attention, award recipients. Please make your way to the stage for a group photo. Again, if you won an award this evening, please go to the stage for a group photo.